Hey everybody, welcome to Leon's Chainsaw Parts and Repair. We're looking at Eric's Super Easy here. And bad joke, this one was a super easy one to repair. I know, I shouldn't have, I can't help myself. So anyway, hi Leon, please evaluate needed repairs to my chainsaw to return it to better operating condition. The following are some issues I've noticed. Carb will not idle down. Clutch is rubbing a groove to inside of clutch cover. Oil leak at bottom of saw. Let me know if you find other issues that need to be addressed. Okay, so I've got really good news here. There wasn't much. We'll address number one last. The idling down. Clutch rubbing on inside of cover. I've checked the clearance and it's correct. What's happened is this has been run without a bar in place. And when that happens and you tighten this inner one, that's when it can rub. In fact, I can hear it crying just a little bit right there. Right there. But when you've got a bar in place with the bar plates, there's enough clearance. These are the correct screws right here. So, yeah, we should be good to go there. And that's all that one is. The oil leak at the bottom of the saw, bear with me, is actually at the top of the saw. I've talked about this in some of my older videos, and it's weird. I'm going to tell you guys, some of you guys that haven't heard this before, you're going to think I'm completely nuts. Someday you'll experience it. These oil caps have a breather in them. This one has a bronze sintered filter. Some of them just have an aluminum tube. There's a duckbill in there. When that duckbill fails, the oil can be all the way at the bottom of the tank, and it's only that thick. Heat and sitting, somehow these things form a siphon up the wall of the tank and out the top of the cap. I know it sounds weird, but it's true. You've got two vent holes directly opposite of each other. Right there's one. It's the other one. Those go all the way into the center cavity here. Sorry. They go into the center cavity. There's an air passage up to where that duckbill sits. The back side of this bronze filter is drilled, so that duckbill's up in there. So it will draw, air into the tank, but not allow it out until that duckbill fails. And then it forms a nice way to leak. This thing sat overnight after running. I'd cleaned up, obviously the automatic oiler's working. You can see that, the shiny. I cleaned it up and all there was a dot like that on the floor, so that's what was running off. So that's where it was coming from. The duckbill valve and the fuel cap was bad as well. She needed a starter rope. That might be it. So the idling down. The idle screw wasn't backed out all the way. It was pretty low, and it still is. But we'll see when we do a cold start here in a second if I need to retune it just a little bit. Usually do. What was going on was the high-speed screw was set over half a turn too rich, and the low-speed screw was set too lean. So it was a hell of a combo. The fact that it would even run as well as it did is kind of surprising. But I almost, once I got it retuned, I'm like, man, this just seems pretty good. And I almost didn't pull the carb, but then common sense got the better of me. If a guy takes the time to send a saw across country, I'm going to pull the damn carb and at least look inside. And I'm glad that I did, because the inlet screen was completely packed with sawdust and crap. Now there's a good fuel filter in here now, but it's clear that this saw at some time in its life was run without a filter or just a faulty one, that it slipped up or something, I don't know. But that carburetor was packed, so naturally when I got all that trash out of there, diaphragms were good. But yeah, that changed the rate of fuel flow and everything. So I'm going to do a cold start on this and see if we can get the final tune done so that I can drain this and get it heading back. Come on, baby. Okay, I am happy with that. I'm not surprised that it was a little lean there to begin with. I did a lot of idle time with it on the previous run, so it likely had a little bit of fuel puddled in the crankcase. A whole lot of idle time. But anyway, that sounds good. It started easily. It's revving up right. I'm going to go ahead and get this drained and boxed up so that it can head on home. You should see some information from me very soon, Eric.